I love doing these interviews. I've done something like 200 interviews in the last 14, 15 months now. So
Wow. Wow.
uh, it's fun because you know what? It tells the listening audience a little bit about you.
Yeah.
They say that it takes 15 to 30 seconds for people to read your body gestures and your
Uh-huh.
facial expressions. And
Yeah.
from that,
That's right.
people get a good feel for you. And
Yeah.
my first feeling of you, by the way, and I'll share this with the audience, integrity. That's the
I
first
think.
thing I came up with is integrity. Etc. So uh,
Thanks.
why don't we give your contact information? I like to start with that.
Sure. Absolutely. So people can reach me at 209-425-1801. You can also text, call or text me there. My email address is ssgtpa1075@gmail.com. That's my personal email address.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And tell us who you are, what you do. I see you got a flag behind you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah. So thank you, Bob. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. So yeah, my name is Andrew. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. And so first and foremost, I want to say happy birthday to my Marine Corps brothers and sisters, past and present. We're celebrating our 247th birthday here on Thursday, November 10th. But I want to thank all veterans, for their service and their sacrifice and their families. Absolutely. And so a little bit more about me is, my parents, I come from a family of farm laborers. My parents met in the cotton fields of Southwest Texas. Both sides of the families, they were farm laborers. Growing up, my immediate family for a period of time, we were farm laborers as well. And so what all that meant for me, Bob, was is that growing up in the home, I did not get a good financial education. All right. And that followed me into adulthood, and that followed me into my marriage, and just created a lot of problems. And so when my wife and I at the time, when Primerica had found us, we were poster children. We were poster children for our company, because we were doing everything wrong. We were drowning in debt, and we were living paycheck to paycheck. And here's what I found out, Bob, is that 21 years later, American families are still drowning in debt, and they're still living paycheck to paycheck. These last 2 years have been extraordinary, and families are just living off of credit card, and so that credit card debt is just skyrocketed. And so now, families need our help, now more than ever before. And so, what I do for families is unique, because we put written plans in families to help them just to get out of debt faster. That's what my company did for my wife and I at the time. And what I could tell you is, when we had our solution and we actually went through it, we saw a light at the end of the tunnel, a debt freedom date, and how to get there. And that stress just kind of, just came off you could physically feel it coming off of my shoulders, at least. And so, I think that's what I love about what I do for families the most, is just helping them relieve that stress, of getting out of debt sooner, and then just planning for a more secure retirement. So if that, if you feel, if you were like my wife and I at the time, 21 years ago, drowning in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, and if this resonates with you, please give me a call. You know, give me a call. Let's get together. Let's start a conversation, and just really, put your feet on a path to debt freedom. Okay,
I
so
love it. I
I
love
think
it.
that's all I have to say for today, Bob. But I thank you for your time.
Oh,
And
this is great stuff because, like you said, we're not taught that. When I was in all the way through
no,
high school, I was not taught any kind of financial literacy.
at
I
all,
wasn't
at all.
taught. And
Yeah.
and did you have the GI Bill to put you through any kind of college whatsoever?
No, so the company I worked for at the time actually paid for my college, the college that I did, my time in college, the first few, I went there for a couple of years, but they paid for that. But I didn't learn the financial concepts that we teach, a financial literacy program. Didn't learn it in the Marine Corps, didn't learn it at the University of Phoenix. And you know what? The families that we served, they didn't get that either at home or at college either.
That's still a major league problem in our society.
It is.
The only
It's a fact.
way, the only way that you can really advance is get a little bit more education, figure
Right.
out what's, and somebody to guide you along. That
There you go.
makes more sense than anything,
Yep. Yep.
I gave
Absolutely.
my kids two choices about college. Either they go to college or they go to college. They can pick either one.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's our financial literacy program is really better than any type of college education people, middle American families can receive, and that's really become my crusade in the end.
Yeah.
That's what I work to do every day.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I mean, it's definitely, absolutely, totally appreciated. And having
You
served in
bet.
the military teaches
Hoorah.
you how to do things right. You know,
Yeah.
I remember boot camp.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Thanks for your service, Bob. I appreciate you, bud.
It's so funny you bring that up because I too remember, being in the military and doing that, but I was in during Vietnam.
Yes.
So
Different era.
completely, it used to be dogs and sailors keep off the grass. Now it's thank you for your service. So thank you for
Amen.
your service. All
Thank you
right,
for
why don't
yours,
you do
brother.
this? There's a couple of things that I always recommend. What do you prescribe to getting people off their butts and calling you? And they typically say in marketing, a call to action. That
What do I
is the most
prescribe?
important thing.
Well, really, it's if you want to just eliminate that stress, if you're tired of worrying and stressing over it, hey, there's hope and opportunity here, and we could put a plan together in place for you and your family to relieve you from that stress. And let's just start it right away.
I love it.